playing with my pals. First up, I have Tazarath, played by.
That would be me, Cerulean.
And what are you playing as?
I am playing as a, what am I, a paladin of some sort.
Yes.
Evil paladin of
And
doom
indeed.
and evil.
Yes. Up next is Snake and the Fixer-Upper are played by the same person. His microphone is not working. Ryanaga is playing both of those characters. Snake is a Yuan-Ti pure-blood sorcerer, and the Fixer-Upper is a half-orc cleric of war, I believe it is. And then that is followed by Melrath, played by.
Starmy827.
And what is your character?
He's a dwarf fighter.
Excellent. And last but not least, we have Bob, played by.
That is me. He is what is he? A tiefling warlock.
Excellent.
I forget things.
Yes, following the Great Old One path.
Yeah, that's why I forget things.
So when last we met up, the party had gone through the Silken Paths, and they had managed to unfortunately lose one member of the party. And actually, let me hit this as sharing so that everybody is seeing it. There we go. One person isn't seeing it. Oh, okay, that's just because of the way that works out. That's fine. Sorry. So anyways, they'd gone through Silken Paths, a massive web highway of strands that went over a huge crevasse. And a mimic crunched on Cerulean's favorite or previous character, and they had made it to the other side. A halfling spy that they had found along the way had directed them back to this particular area looking for Cerulean's newest character, conveniently enough. And so now we are presently located in a cave complex. And as a reminder from last time, there are some strange gibbering yelps coming from other directions. Most notably the circled area to the north. The circled area to the south is where some strange conglomeration of bug-like creatures rush down this passageway in one hell of a hurry. They saw you, but they did not want to stop, so they have moved right along. So at this point, it is up to the party to figure out how to proceed.
What sounds good to you guys?
Oh, you got your mic working.
Yeah.
Marvelous. So just laying out the options, you can continue further along to the, I guess that's southwest. You can go dead south following the strange creatures. You can explore up to the north and see if you can find the source of those noises. Oh, go on.
If somebody has some stealth, I would recommend checking a little bit further on, but I don't think anybody has anything stealthy.
Well, yeah, you were supposed to be the thief character, Chris.
Yeah, but then I got eaten.
That's an interesting point. Maybe I can see people's.
We don't believe in dex in this party.
I'm gonna try something. Okay.
What is this dex thing you speak of?
So I did a quick stealth check for you guys, and it seems that the highest modifier for the skill of stealth is +2.
Yeah.
Cool.
Shared by the members of the party.
Random question. That halfling spy.
Yes.
What's it?
What?
What's his name again?
Oh, give me a moment. I have to pull up the story.
Aren't there two of them?
No, there's just the one.
Oh.
There are other NPCs in the group. And where's my list of dead NPCs?
Yeah, they're the cannon fodder.
Yeah. I think Jim Jar might have been the other spy that you were thinking of.
Oh, he did.
Yeah, he's long dead.
He be dead.
I don't remember how he died, and I actually, at some point when I have a moment, will write down how they died for my own personal amusement.
Own personal enjoyment, I agree.
Yes, absolutely. What the shit am I looking at? Where is the list? Maybe I can search it.
Oh, I was thinking of Topsy and Turvy.
Oh, those guys. Yeah,
I got those mixed up with the halfling.
Thank fucking God they're here, because like I don't know where they got the statistics for those characters, but they aren't actually included in the book for this. So having those statistics, like they have like cause blindness and deafness, and that's really fucking good. Um, so then I go to general features.
So about the stealth roll, I will roll one of my characters on that and move ahead. Which direction were you thinking?
I was just thinking further down the hallway a short ways so that we would have a better idea of which.
Okay. Yeah, I want to get my character killed so I can make it overpowered like yours.
Listen, I actually rolled a stealth check for the entire party already.
Oh, okay.
Watch this. I think I can make this visible. Can I? Reset, copy the text to clipboard, negative value, total value, half value, display sum. It appears now. But the rolls that your two characters got were Snake got 7 and Fixer Upper got 20. Would you like to keep either of those rolls?
I will keep the 20.
Yeah, I thought you might. Encounter list. Halfling. Fargus Rumblefoot.
Fargus.
Fargus Rumblefoot.
Oh wait, you didn't tell
Fargus.
us where we were going again. That city?
Oh, I have to do it every time, huh?
Yeah, well, multiple times.
It's the highlight of the night.
Yeah.
So
Wait.
the current goal for the party is to adventure from where they are to Sloobduldop.
You're getting too good at it. Damn it.
Damn it.
All that practice makes perfect.
Mm.
What is
So that means it falls on us to mispronounce it.
Oh,
I believe in you.
By the way, Chris, I saw that you left a note on the channel. You better not be watching and cheating behind the DM screen.
He would never do something like that.
All right. Well, anyways, at the
Well,
moment,
if you want to get my character killed again, you're welcome.
You can make a more overpowered one. Go for it.
see,
If you
the quest
strike me down, I shall become more powerful than you can ever imagine.
Exactly. Like, is death really a threat to you? But that's neither here nor there. So for the moment, we have two characters that have rolled stealth. Are you going to go investigate to the north, the southwest, or the south?
I'll go south.
Okay. Oh, by the way, as a reminder for all players, in the lower right-hand corner, there's a golden emblem. If you click and hold on that and then drag in any direction, you can scroll on the map. That will be relevant for this map given its obnoxious size. So, we're going to head down that direction. So I'm going to go into the map mode. And let's see here. I think it's this one. Yes. Marvelous. Are you going to go all the way down until you reach some terminus or what? Do you want to go down?
Sure, why not?
40 feet?
Nice. Nice knowing you.
That's fine. I'll grow stronger.
Okay, so then I'm going to have you go down until you reach a terminus.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just grabbing the area that I want to be revealed. Bloop. And then I'm going to grab you and place you right about here.
Whoa.
So.
Rude.
So this passageway, and actually, let me just check and make sure there's no...
Oh my god, that's far.
It is far. Keep in mind that each square on this map is 10 feet. And that's, if you look on the map, there are bold outlined squares, and then there are thinly outlined squares. The thin squares are 5, the bold ones are 10. So anyways, I believe this passage ends up being like 60 or 70 feet long from the last time I ran it. I'm not going to count now because it's a little difficult with this map. But anyways, you go down an incredibly long passageway. Now, for the creatures that came through here, they were large. So for them, this was kind of a squeeze to make it through here, and they seem to have done so very quickly. There are deep gouges in the wall, about shoulder height for you, on the left and the right. They don't go the entire way down. It's just periodically there was enough of a squeeze that apparently they gouged out a bit of the rock. And as you were looking and going down this passageway, I know your character has a decent perception. So you also notice that this area seems to be one that is fairly often tread. Now, had you not actually seen the creatures go down this passageway, you might not necessarily have been able to pick it out amongst all the shadows. The way that the rock passageway opens, it's kind of obscured. It's not impossible to find, and it's certainly not hidden. But it isn't the same thing as just an open passageway in front of you.
Mhm.
So as you go down the entire length of the way, give me a second to roll an opposed perception check. So you go all the way down and you find that it opens up into a much larger cavern. And I'm going to say that it's about 10, 20, it's about 25 by 30 or so, um, roughly circular. When you get down there, uh, actually, let me go back to here because I want to see something. Like that, and then other. Okay, and then unidentified. So I'm going to share an image. Wait, can I share it with a select person? No, I don't think I can. Selection modes? No. Okay. Here we go. So when the Fixer Upper comes down, he sees a pair of these creatures, and they happen to be lined up against. Where are my tokens? Here we go. I'm just going to grab some random ass tokens and plop them in here. I'll go like this.
Is that an owlbear sphinx?
I think you are seeing behind the DM screen again, and cut it out. Less pain befall you. Seriously though.
Yeah, cheating's my job.
Yeah, exactly. Um, the creatures are located sort of side by side in okay, like that. They're large creatures. I don't know. I'll leave them like this. It doesn't matter. Anyways, these creatures have made it to the back end of the cave, and you're not certain if they see you at the moment because they are looking at the entrance of the cave, and that's where you currently are. And so they're looking in your general direction, but they aren't charging you. They aren't attacking. They are staring kind of blankly in that direction, and they have these large bony hooks raised, um, and they aren't moving from that spot. Now, again, because I know what your passive perception is, you can get a sense that behind them and above them there is an opening. The cave ceiling kind of opens and goes back into this strange nook,
Mhm.
and oh, excuse me. And so they seem to be directly underneath that and perhaps guarding it. You're uncertain.
Okay. Can I try to beat it back as quickly as possible without breaking stealth if I
Oh, I'm
have
gonna
it
let you
still?
keep the same stealth roll. You don't have to roll again.
Okay. All right. Well.
Yes, you can. Is there anything else you want to do before you go?
Um. Can I try to
Try to
identify them?
identify.
Sure. Give me
Okay.
just a second. I have to think about this. I want to grab their encounter sheet to get a sense of what kind of creatures these are. I think it's going to be Arcana for these guys.
Oh. All right.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
There we go. Okay. Shit, I closed it. That was dumb of me. Where did it? Oh, wait, is that the map? Why is this not? There it is. Oop, and pull this up, and pull this up. These creatures are, you believe, hook horrors. A fierce predator of the Underdark, hook horrors aggressively defend their hunting grounds. The subterranean caverns where these creatures dwell echo with the constant clacking and scraping of their hooks as they wend their way up rifts in cavern walls. The monstrous hook horror has a head resembling a vulture's and a torso of an enormous beetle with an exoskeleton studded by sharp, bony protuberances. It gains its name from its long, powerfully built arms, which end in wickedly curved hook claws. Some other kind of notable features. People believe that they may be able to communicate by striking their hooks against their exoskeletons or stone surfaces, creating a clacking noise that is actually a complex language. Um, they are pack hunters and they have dedicated clans. And then beyond that, these creatures are exceptionally perceptive, generally speaking. Um, they are believed to have keen hearing and echolocation. So that gives them some advantages against other foes in their very dark environment. Generally speaking, these creatures are known to be moderately dangerous, and they are ambush predators. Generally speaking, they want to stick a hook arm out of a side passageway,
Mm,
grab you, and break your neck before
right.
you even know what's happening. So that is the information you are able to recall.
All right. I guess I'll take that back to the party.
Okay. Grab you, drop you here. So you return to the party, tell them what's down that particular passageway. Now, the entire time that you were going, now that you know that these are ambush predators, you, of course, watched your back the entire way. They haven't moved from that spot. Now,
Mm,
you can still hear some light clacking from down that particular passageway, but only because you're at the mouth of it. So, they're active somewhere along the path back there, but they don't seem to have followed you.
seems like they're guarding something of relative importance, I would guess.
True. And at the moment, as far as you know, they don't seem to be aware that the party has found them.
Hmm.
So if you were to go back down that way, you might be able to suddenly have them both cornered and potentially at a surprise disadvantage.
Well, when you said they were moderately dangerous and they're ambush predators, I
Um,
wasn't ambushed.
you weren't ambushed, and when I say moderately dangerous, I mean that they are perhaps more dangerous than a drow soldier, but they are less dangerous than a drow priestess.
Hmm.
There are certainly other creatures in the Underdark that are a lot more dangerous.
Oh yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah. They're kind of low on the totem pole, but I am speaking from the power level of these creatures versus the power level of the party. And
Hmm.
do remember that even though the party is only represented by 5 people on the map, you have an entire
Hmm.
assortment of NPCs with you that all get an attack and a turn in combat.
Right. Yeah, I was gonna suggest in tune with you that I really want to see what they're
They're guarding.
apparently guarding. So.
Okay. Um, as you have come back up, the rest of the party has continued to hear gibbering. Um, the noise has gotten a bit louder. It seems to be coming from that northern passageway. Um,
Hmm.
but yeah, so if you guys are gonna head down and explore this, you might want to go quickly and hope that you're not seen.
I'd
Thoughts?
say I think we should go for it. Go for that attack and hide out in that chamber as best we can
Okay.
until the gibbering stops.
Sure. I am going to give me just a second. I want to make sure that all the NPCs are located here. Um, Yuck Yuck and Spiderbait also joined the party, according to what I have here. Um,
This is true.
I didn't put in the I didn't put in Fargus into this little list, so let me do that real quick. Story, encounter list, person, NPC. Here we go. Grab this and drop him there. So let me add those 3. Whoa, whoa. Okay. There we go. Okay. Oh, but they're listed as, let me set them as friendly so that there is no confusion. All right. So at this point, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 people in the party. All right.
We're an army, guys.
You guys are quite literally an army, and one of the things that kind of amuses me at the moment is, let me count the squares. There's 4, there's 8, there's 11, 12. Yeah, you guys will basically fill out that entire cavern and have them pressed up against the goddamn wall. So there will be no room to maneuver doing this. So what I want to ask is that the party go ahead and arrange yourselves on that map. And then once you do that, I will grab the NPCs and populate them around you. Now,
I'm
because
just
they're allies, you do have some say in where I put them, but I
Hmm.
am just going to be trying to place them for expediency's sake.
All right. Well, we have 2 fighters, so one of them should be in front.
So just throwing this out there, I can apparently communicate with other creatures. Is that something we should try, you think?
Um,
Or are these guys pretty?
Oh, that's a good question. Let me check one last thing, because it would have been information I would have given you otherwise. These creatures are not known to have a particular alignment of sorts. Um, people think they're intelligent, but nobody really knows for certain, except for the hook horrors themselves. So if they are intelligent enough to have a language, then you can indeed speak with them, and you're welcome to try.
Okay, I mean, they're severely outnumbered, so if they are intelligent, you'd think they might reason with you.
True.
But yeah, one of the fighters should be in front because the cleric doesn't need to take 2 random crits and die. So.
Right. Well, people should be arranging themselves. Please do that now.
Okay.
We can grab ourselves.
Yes. And technically, you can grab each other, but please just grab yourself.
Giggity. Why is Ront all the way over there? Fucking Ront.
I was testing to see if I could grab Ront and drop him on the map, and I can, and that's good. So that's how you guys are arranging yourselves?
Sure.
Okay, then in that particular case, that means that all NPCs will populate out behind you, which means most of them won't actually get a turn. You have to move into the cave itself if you intend to, in order for NPCs to be of relevance to this potential.
Yeah, let's move a little bit further in.
Okay. Allow me. There. That's the same sort of thing. I think that largely going to be the same, or it's going to be true for whatchamacallit. So anyways, give me just a second. Can I do... Well, you know what? I'll try that. Okay, so you guys move into place, and Bob, what are you gonna say? How are you gonna approach this?
So it says within 30 feet. Is that 30 feet?
For the purposes of this, you can get within 30 feet of them. I'm not gonna worry about where you actually are because if it becomes
is
a
anyway.
fight... Okay.
Okay. So can I talk to them?
Well, yes, but I'm asking, what is it that you're trying to say to them?
Oh.
Is it a standard greeting? Are you threatening them? We have you cornered. You know, what's your approach?
How about first, can you understand me?
You say that mentally, and then they start to have a series of clacking, and you get a confused feeling from the creatures, but not an actual word.
Are you friendly?
The creatures cock their head, like you can see in the darkness that they turn their head to the side, and the creatures give you um, the sense that they are protecting, that they don't want to be pressed.
Poor bastards.
Right. Well, I mean, this cave doesn't have any other openings, right?
Actually,
not that I can see.
No, it
Well,
does.
it does.
There is an opening in the ceiling in the back portion of this cave, which the hook horrors are standing underneath. And for them, it's a bit easier to get back up there. I know that they are... Actually, can I do something? What if I do this? No. I can't seem to change the size of these. Does this work? No. I know that
Oh, cute.
I know that there is a way to move them around or change their size, but I can't remember what it is. Anyways, they're large creatures. They're capable of using their hooks to, latch onto that edge and pull themselves up. Whereas for the party, it's a little bit more of a effort to climb. Anyways, the creatures seem to be starting to get the hang um, of your communication through telepathy, and so you're starting to get words from them. So, but of course, as you might expect, it's kind of like pidgin English, as it were. So they start to communicate back to you unprompted. Um, they say something about furry intruders hunting us, protect the children.
So they're pedophiles.
Wow. That's the first time that's ever come up in D&D. Well done.
Sorry. I mean, what do you guys think? They're obviously big, sharp, hooked animals.
Well, I guess we chop them up.
Let's do it.
Okay. You guys are just gonna charge in for combat. So let me get all of that and grab
Well,
the account.
I'm going to cast who can bless on.
Creatures already identified.
You know what? Before combat starts, I'm going to cast bless on myself, Melrath, and Bob.
Wait a minute. What is going on here?
So I get nothing from you, huh?
You're further back.
Sure. That's how it is.
Okay. First of all, let me get this straight. So you're casting it on yourself, who and who?
Melrath and Bob.
Okay. So hold on just a
Sorry.
second. I'm gonna go. I have to find your character in the list. I think we can apply that effect to the party. So first of all, where the fuck are you? You're at the bottom. So I'm gonna do targeting. So you're gonna do it on yourself. Melrath and who? Chris?
Blob.
Yes.
Oh, Bob.
Yes.
Even though nothing moves the blob.
Ha!
Okay. Try using the cast in your spell list, and let's see if that applies the effect. Okay, good.
There we go.
So then let me do one more thing because you
I may
for
have
yourself you had it
may have gone
accidentally.
off twice.
Oh, it went off twice for everybody. I see that now. It's okay,
Sorry.
no problem. I'll just remove it from the appropriate players, and then this way we can keep track of it. Now, the other thing to remember is that this is a concentration spell, so in the event that you get hit, I'm going to need you to help remind me to have you roll concentration. So,
Right.
can I ask the party to roll initiative for me? All of the NPCs are in here in their initiative. Oh my god. 0? 0. Like, if you look on the list, a niche says, like, blank. There's just no number
Oops.
there. That's impressive.
Wrong one.
That's sad. This is absolutely sad. Tazarath will probably
Bob's
meet.
just doing all kinds of intelligence stuff.
I'm looking for it, damn it. There it is.
There it is.
Hmm.
Bob's very confused.
He makes it through in time.
Well, I know Tazarath won't. So
So, if I click... Where are they? That's
I'm not sure.
normally they populate the map with the monsters, and this time they just didn't. That's weird. Well, I'm just gonna use A and B then. That works for me. All right, so we've got all the initiative order in place. The first person to act will be the fixer-upper.
I'll fire at A with a crossbow.
Okay. You remember how to target him?
Oh, yeah. Roll the die on his head, basically.
Yeah. And A is going to be 1, and B is going to be 2.
Okay.
2 days left. I don't care about that. But I do.
Oh. Oh, well.
That is unfortunate. That's weird.
Oh,
Okay.
cool. It auto checked off the ammo. That's nice.
Oh, that is nice. Okay, so that was Fixer Upper. Next up is Bob, and then it's going to be Ront, Spiderbait, and then the next player will be Melrath after a long series of NPCs. Kyle.
I'm trying.
Oh, okay.
I'm probably not going to do it right. Oh, damn it. How do you drag a spell?
What spell are you trying to grab?
Eldritch Blast.
Okay, so you click on the magnifying glass. Then you see that it has an attack, so there's a little sword. So click and grab the sword. and drop it on your target.
On A?
Yeah,
In the combat tracker?
Yeah.
Damn it.
Oh, and it automatically added your D4. That's beautiful. I love it.
That's nice.
It
Cool.
is nice. I'm for once something works on this damn thing. So, so right, you managed to roll and hit. So go ahead and roll for your damage.
And that is the cast or damage. What's the difference between cast and attack?
I don't know. Let me see something. Apparently, cast just picks between attack or save, whatever is correct. I'm going to assume.
Interesting.
I'm gonna test it out. Oh, let me delete that out.
Ha! I have wounded him.
Yes, cast picks automatically between attack and save.
He is wounded.
Uh,
Ha!
Excellent.
He is
So
wounded.
actually, let me see one more thing. Based on Bob, yeah, you have line of sight. That's no problem. So you fire off your shadowy blast. It strikes the creature full in the chest, and you can hear it cry out in rage and betrayal. So
Sorry.
are you though?
Sorry,
So
not
does
sorry.
that mean? Oh, sorry, but does that mean when you hit cast, it just does it for you, so you don't have to remember attack or save for certain spells?
It seems to, because I tested it on
Okay,
one of his
cool.
that says attack and one that says save.
Nice.
So Ront is up. Ront only has a javelin, and he's the only character that would be close enough to be able to attack anyway. So he's gonna fire off at.
Of course he hits. He's a beast.
Yeah, he is quite the fighter.
Should we duck?
He throws that.
Too late.
And then he's pretty tall too. He just hucked it right over your head, and it
Okay.
implants right
Good.
into the creature's chitin. And
His what?
chitin. It's the armor-like shell of bugs.
Ooh.
Yuck.
It's kind of like fingernail, but thicker.
Ooh.
Spiderbait can't act. Fargus can't act. Saref can't act. Topsy can't act. Melrath.
I'm going to run up and hit number one.
Okay,
I'm assuming number one is A, right?
correct. Just walk right up and smack him. There you go.
What if he gently caressed his hook hands?
Ooh.
So apparently, even if you have bless, a one is still an automatic.
Oh.
So Melrath, sets out charging at these creatures, but unfortunately for him, he trips over a rock and stumbles most of that 15-foot space, and happens to come to a stop right in front of the hook horror. But of course, it's the opportunity to attack has passed. So next up, Tito can't act, Turvy can't act, Snake.
I will use Firebolt,
Okay, go for it.
and I'm going to use cast. Hopefully that works.
I pray to the high heavens it does. Marvelous.
Okay, nice.
Huh.
Oh,
Yeah, these creatures have no particular weaknesses or vulnerabilities, so you.
would you have told us that since I got the 20 roll or whatever on Arcana, or no?
Yes, that is
Okay.
that is the point of the identification.
All right. Yeah, I was wondering. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
if there's stuff like that, I want to mention it. So
Good. Cool.
So you flick off a firebolt. These creatures are tanks. They seem to be
Mhm.
absorbing the onslaught fairly well so far. So the first creature is up.
Yeah, but he's wounded.
He is slightly wounded. Yes. Okay. So first off, we're gonna one is going to attack Melrath because of course, and he swings once with each hook and manages to catch him on the second.
Wow.
So yeah, it is highly unfortunate that you came to a stop right where you were because you were in perfect hook location. These hooks are very large, by the way. They can reach out to 10 feet. Now that you've seen them in action, you are aware of this. Next up is Hook Horror number 2. So we're gonna drop that on Eric.
Still sounds like hook horror.
I know.
Horror.
That's because I'm from Florida.
Horror.
Oh, Eric got lucky on the second set of blows. Unfortunately,
Or did he get lucky, or does he want to remake his character?
could be either.
Yes.
Conrad, you are up, my friend.
Okay. Since I can't concentrate on a new spell, I guess, because I'm still concentrating on the original Bless spell,
Yes.
Unless you want to drop it.
it seems to be useful right now in helping the rest of the party. So what I'm going to attack with my great sword against Bravo.
Okay. Can you move closer to be like in the square adjacent to him? I know he's on a
I did.
intersection. Then allow me. That's what I was looking for.
Oh,
Yeah, go and swing.
inside the 4 squares that Bravo is in.
Yeah.
Inside of Bravo.
Yep.
Let's not go there. Anyway. Yeah.
Well done.
Hata.
What did you do?
Undo that, please.
What the hell was that?
I'm still targeting the other.
Oh my god.
Thanks, Chris.
Undo that, please.
0.
What?
I believe Eric was at 14. Let me also take the effect of unconscious off of Eric, inflicted by Chris. Okay, so yeah,
Let's do this again the right way.
Yeah. You know what, Chris? I'm gonna give you the 8 that you did, because that is what you should have done, and that was my fault apparently.
So what did he do?
Here's what happened. Apparently, when he did his attack, because he was still targeting multiple people, the game just applied the attack to all of those people. So somehow his sword flew across the screen and just struck 3 different people. So now that that's been fixed,
achievements and failure.
Exactly. So yeah, we go back to the top of the round, which brings us to the fixer-upper, who may just want to do some fixer-uppering.
Does he though?
I don't know.
Does the wounded person want that?
I should be okay.
Are you kidding?
What? I can take another hit.
Can you? You're at.
He wants to make another character. Who is he kidding?
He wants to play as one of the Hook Horror babies and join the party.
Oh, jeez. So do you want me to heal you or not?
Hold on to it.
Okay.
I think he's going to do a second win and hope that works out for him.
Or he wants to make another character.
It could easily be both.
So I will just fire at who I fired at last time, I guess.
Okay.
Which was Hokora 1, I believe. And I'll use Sacred Flame again. No, I didn't use Sacred Flame. I used a... Well, I'll use it now. Okay. Maybe not. Well, okay. We'll try it.
Unfortunately.
Ugh. Oh, well.
Yeah, the creature manages to save. So there's no effect from that.
That's kind of a running theme with Sacred Flame.
The funny part.
Well, yeah, the difficulty class is 13. It's not very good.
I'm a cleric in my other party, and I've only rarely missed with it, so I'm kind of mystified by Brett's poor luck, unfortunately. Anyways, Bob, you're up.
So, you said these guys are pretty tough?
Yeah, I would.
They have a lot of hit points, yeah.
I would up your.
We should probably move in a bit more so that our pile of NPCs can mob them
Oh, that's a good idea.
I mean, just keep in mind that they can reach out 10 feet from the squares that they're in. So you're safe where you are, but if, for example, you were here, they might be able to reach you.
Well, then don't put me there.
I won't.
Okay. Damn it. Oh, can't scroll. Oh, there it is. Damn it.
What happened?
No, that worked.
Have fun, save. Failure. Failure means they take full damage. That's good.
Oh. Okay. So now I roll damage.
Yes. All right. I just want to see something real quick. Is there a hot link to this? No. Here.
Psychic damage. That's pretty cool.
So Melrath can hear Bob whispering quietly behind him and suddenly the hook horror grabs its head with its own hooks and rocks back and forth in agony as his psychic assault batters at the creature's mind. Which means next in the initiative is somebody. There we go. It's Ron. Everybody.
I whispered, let the children go, you creep.
Let me do
Time for Ron to carry us again.
Yeah, here's hoping. He might just
Duck.
This might be Rot's final battle at this rate. Let's see here. So the distance. Why did it not do that? Oh, because that's not A. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 30, 40. I'll have him move to here, and let me just double check that he only has 1 feet of movement. He does. So he gets to that location. He is going to fire off another javelin.
Of course he hits. He's a beast.
He has a +5 on his hit.
Yeah, he can't be stopped.
Except for the fact that it was a glancing blow. So that wasn't particularly spectacular. Because Spiderbait is next in the initiative order, I'm going to grab him and drop him where Ront was. And let's see what his speed is 30 feet. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So he moves into this location. But the only thing he's equipped with are... Oh, okay. Whew, I was confused there for a second. I thought he was equipped with 2 scimitars, but he has a short bow. He fires it off the hook horror, but the hook horror's armor is pretty dang good.
Yeah, I'm
that
impressed.
Shell is quite durable. So he misses, unfortunately, which brings us to Fargus Rumblefoot, who will appear here.
Rumble him, Fargus.
F.
Let's see here. Really? Okay. Wow. Once again, we have another pretty excellent character available. So let me just check the parameters for this. It's a damage attack row 5 feet. Is an incapacitated disadvantage. Okay. So Fargus is going to move to here. He pulls out a hand crossbow from his backpack and makes a quick shout to Melrath to duck. Melrath does duck and manages to surprise the...
He's still on the ground from tripping.
He barely managed to stay standing. That was his accomplishment, if we're being honest. Unfortunately, the crossbow bolt doesn't penetrate the shell, but a little bit of teamwork could go a long way in this fight. Next up is Saref. Let me drop his ass onto the field. All right. He is going to be there. And what are his options? Oh, yes. Thank you. Heat it. It's iced tea. Thank you. Appreciate it. Anyways, right, he's going to use a fairy fire on hook.
Really?
1.
Oh, I thought this was Fargus still.
No, it's Sareth. And I'm going to move him into the cave. He was actually supposed to be like over here. Failure. Okay, excellent. So that should mean that the effect is applied here. Now, let me just double check. Is it for all or just the next? Okay, so Sareth darts around a corner and summons up innate drow magic, and he waves his hands and makes a popping noise with his mouth, and suddenly the hook horror is outlined in a sort of ghostly outline, as it were, of shimmering color. And of course, you guys were all using dark vision, so he stands out radiantly. And it makes it especially easy to hit and find weak areas upon the hook horror. So anybody that rolls an attack against number one gets advantage on that roll, as long as Sareth continues to concentrate on it. Okay?
Yay.
Okay.
Works for me.
So next up is Topsy. Topsy runs up ahead. 5, 10, 15, 20. He can only make it out to here because I started to realize they're coming from further down the passageway, so I shouldn't be giving them full movement. Seeing how badly Melrath is hurt, he attempts to cast blindness and deafness on Hook Horror number 1. Hook Horror number 1, unfortunately, having particularly keen senses, manages to resist the effect, and his turn ends without success. Melrath, you are up, buddy. Do it to it.
I'm using second wind, so I gain 10.
That's okay. Fixed.
And I'll go hit more. Why do I have advantage?
Fairy fire.
Oh, well,
Wait,
I missed.
You rolled 2 6s? Huh.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Okay, that's possible. You can roll 2 of the same number. It's very low in terms of probability, but fine. Sorry. It looks like you missed a spite advantage.
1 in 400, I would imagine.
Eric could tell us.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so at this point,
Boopido.
Bupido appears here. He's only going to be able to make it here. Again, movement is limited. But he starts insanely muttering to himself about how he's going to arrange the intestines of these creatures once they're defeated.
Wow.
I like your style!
He fires off a light crossbow, and he manages to hit, and that apparently should have been on the creature and not on the chat. So, okay, so Hook Horror number 1 takes pretty substantial damage from that crossbow. And next up we have Turvy, who is simply going to populate. I'm not sure he has anything that he can do from here, but I'll check. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. He actually doesn't have... Does he have line of sight? Let me grab a pointer. Pointer. Draw arrow. Here to here. No, he has line of sight. That's okay. And it's 25 feet. So let me also trash my arrow so it doesn't get in the way. Boink. He's going to try to do the same thing as his brother or sister, I think it is.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that very keen perception still manages to beat blindness and deafness. So that is not effective. Snake, you are up.
Crossbowing against Hook Horror 1. Oh, so I need to give myself advantage, right?
No, you don't. It gives you.
Oh, it's already in. Okay.
You're not going to
Right.
cast any spells?
No, because the Fairy Fire gives advantage, right?
Yes,
But
but
it-
it gives advantage.
It gives it on hit spells too. Okay.
Yes. Anything you have to roll to hit. So like Chromatic Orb has a much higher chance of hitting right now.
Yeah, I don't want to waste Chromatic Orb on this.
You don't want to use the acid to...
The acid range is short, but maybe I can get into range of it. It's
you mean
10.
Poison spray?
Poison spray is 10.
It is 10, but it's not just 10 feet. It is...
I was talking about Chromatic Orb acid version, but okay.
Well, yeah, but poison spray does a D12.
Mhm. Can I get into range without being in range of him with that, or?
No, because your range is the same as his range.
Okay, that's what I thought. All right, that's fine. I'll just fire off a firebolt.
Okay, go for it.
Critical hit.
Well done. And it dropped to 19. That's an incredible roll.
So I roll 2 damage on him.
No,
2 damage rolls.
just roll the damage normally. It'll apply automatically because your last
Oh,
thing was a crit.
oh, how nice! They do so much for you now.
Well, they did that before. It's just
Oh,
not every.
I don't get many crits, so that tells you something.
That's unfortunately true. Yeah, see there, it automatically added it. So, wait a minute, you did the damage from poison spray.
I did, didn't I? Whoops.
We have a problem because it's not possible to get. Well, okay. Here's what I'm gonna do. Roll 2d10 for the firebolt. You wouldn't add any modifiers to it anyways, so I'll just subtract the 16 from this, and we'll apply the 2d10 instead.
So roll 2d10 just by me right-clicking to get another one?
Yes.
Okay.
That should replicate a critical hit. Poison spray has a lot more damage, so
yeah.
sorry.
Critical failure in this case, but whatever.
So we do actually. Anyways, so the creature is now bloodied finally.
Finally,
all of
good grief.
that work.
He is a tank.
He is quite the tank. Yuck Yuck is up but can't move. Hook Horror number 1 is up. Well, he's just gonna try to wait a minute. Let me make certain before I do that. Yeah, Eric and Tazarath are the only people in range. He flicks one hook out at Tazarath and another at Melrath. Yeah, okay. Melrath? All right. Right back where you started. So he was right. He can sustain 1 turn. And then next up is Hook Horror number 2. He attacks Melrath.
I'm
Also
surprised
hits.
it's not attacking me
Well,
since
he's
I stabbed it.
within reach. And Melrath goes down. And now he's going to attack you. Okay. Oh, it automatically rolls for concentration. Marvelous. And you succeeded. So Hook Horror number 2 downs Melrath and Tazarath, you're up.
I succeeded at counts apparently, so I'm going to try and let's see. What's my lay on hands ability work?
He's dead. We need spare the dying, I thought.
When
Well,
he is
death rolls.
He's unconscious right now. He will go into death throes on his turn. If you use a healing potion on him, he instantaneously just gains whatever the hit point.
Oh, within this turn, I see. Yeah.
Well, no, just period. As long as he's unconscious and not dead.
So he can continue to be in the death roll status, and you can just heal him, and then he gets right out of it. You don't need to spare the dying.
Yes.
Oh, how nice.
What spare the dying does is it takes the risk out of death saving throws. If he gets 3 successes, he pops right back up with 1 hit point for free. No one has to do anything. But if he gets 3 failures, he dies.
I see.
So spare the dying simply says no more death saving throws.
Mm-hmm.
You just persist, and you don't have to make those with any chance of failure. So oftentimes when I, as a cleric, have used spare the dying, someone has 2 failures, and I go, okay, this turn I have to spare the dying.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but as far as lay on hands is concerned, if I wound up healing Melrath, would he become conscious again, or?
So Melrath is currently prone on the floor. Any hit points that you give him are what his hit point value will be. So if you give him 4 hit points, he'll have 4 hit points.
Does Melrath want to come back?
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm
Okay.
not rushed to die.
All right. Just wanted to clear that up.
But what I'm trying to clear up is, will Melrath wake up if I hit?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
He just has that many hit points.
You kept cutting out
Oh.
every single time I asked that.
Okay. Again, when you heal him, his hit points become that value, and he becomes conscious. He'll be on the floor, but he'll be conscious.
Okay, you kept saying that his hit points became that value, but okay, now I understand.
Yeah, I know. I hear you guys cutting out as well, so it's not the end of the world. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So, it says as an action I can do that.
Yeah, so you have move action, standard action, bonus action, and reaction.
So I can attack and
No.
use it as.
When they say as an action, they mean your standard action. So you were doing this instead of attacking.
Okay.
The good news is, well, actually, never mind. You're adjacent to him anyways, but
So since I'm adjacent, I've got lay on hands. I'm gonna do that.
okay. So just drop the lay on hands value on Melrath, and that should do it.
Where is that? It's not showing up in my actions. So
it's not skills, abilities, lay on hands here. Okay. I see. Here's the deal. You have a pool of healing power that replenishes when you take a long rest. That pool, with that pool, you can restore a total number of hit points equal to your paladin level times 5. So you're level 2, so 10 hit points. As an action, you touch a creature and draw power from the pool to restore the exact number of hit points to that creature that you want to, up to the maximum amount remaining in your pool. So,
I'm gonna zap him up to 10 health, I guess.
Okay, so you're gonna spend all 10?
Yeah.
Okay. And you saw the bit about disease and poison, right?
Right.
Okay, just making sure. So Eric is restored at 12 hit points. Or sorry, he's at 10 hit points, which leaves him with 12. Blah 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 blah. And that's Tazareth's turn. So we go back to the top of the round, and it is now the fixer-upper.
Well, I guess I don't have to heal anyone. So I'll just.
You don't?
No. No one's asking for it.
I see. I love that that's followed by silence, but what are you doing, fixer-upper?
I'm Sacred Flaming Hook Horror again.
Okay, go for it. He succeeds again.
Wow. Okay.
I mean, you're under no
Jeez.
obligation to use the spell, but damn. And the funny part is that's not even their good stat, so... Bob. Oh, Bob.
I will do another Eldritch Blast.
Okay.
Because that's about all I can do. On Little Miss Horror number 1. If I can get to her.
Well done.
And... bloop.
Oh, no.
Oh, come on.
I know. This is not your day. Yeah, unfortunately, once again, Eldritch Blast has managed a glancing blow. I mean, despite their size, these creatures are, both tanky and more dexterous than you would have
Lucky.
expected. Yeah, lucky as fuck. We'll go with that. So next up on the list is Ront. Now Ront is going to move to here to be adjacent to Melrath.
Ront in melee.
Oh, I missed that. I'll do it next time. I could have done this better. Anyways, Ront is going to attempt to hit hook horror number 1. He hits.
Of course he hits.
Well, he also has advantage. It's not
Yeah.
a huge surprise. Oh, That was a 12, so that was the best he could have possibly rolled on that, and he whips out his great axe and just sinks it right into the back of this creature, and oh man, does it ever let out a horrific noise.
Is it dead yet?
No, sadly, it is not.
Jesus
However,
Christ.
Spiderbait has an opportunity to change that for all of us. So, Spiderbait lines up his shot with a short bow and manages to land a blow. Thank God for Fairy Fire. He gets a 4, not enough to fell the creature. It is bleeding more heavily now, but you have no idea just how much this creature can take. Fargus Rumblefoot. He's going to stay right the fuck where he is. And
foot.
he's going to fire his hand crossbow. And he still misses. What a so I still don't get to do sneak.
See, this is how the rest of our party got, and why it got whittled down to just the two of us.
Exactly. So at this point, Sareth is quite proud of himself for his highly effective fairy fire and decides to take advantage of it with his hand crossbow. He manages to land a hit, but hand crossbows are not known to do a hell of a lot of damage. However, there is a small chance. Okay. Unfortunately, the drow poison on his bolts does not manage to cause the creature to go unconscious. So next up, we have Topsy. Now, for Topsy, that's for self. Okay. Do I want to do that and then follow it up with that? Where is that? No, that's Turvy.
Before we get to Melrath's turn, you should probably undo the unconscious effect.
Oh yeah, it doesn't actually affect anything. It's just for me to help keep track of things. But
Right, but it might skip the turn.
no, it might, however, put. Oh, you're right, because he would be in death saving throws. Good call.
Yeah.
So hand crossbow, fire away. Manages to miss as well. Melrath, you are pulling your bleeding and drooling body off of the floor.
That was immediate.
Okay. And you dish it out nowhere near as good as you got it, but you give him something, and you hack at his kneecaps. So the creature is still up. He's still up. You guys are in trouble. So Bupito is going to move into the room a bit further, and he's going to fire
Didn't
off.
he mention something about intestines being on the floor?
Oh yeah, and now he's talking about, well, if I can get a hold of at least one liver, and then he starts going into this horrific thing about vivisection.
No, I don't want talk. I want action, Bupito.
Well, it
There's
looks
your
like
action.
Bupito's about to deliver, so let's see how this goes.
He's about to deliver a liver.
Oh, it seems that this pincushion of a beast has finally taken the final straw, and as this crossbow bolt sinks into it, it kind of teeters and rolls backwards because most of its weight goes in that direction, and it slumps up against the wall and lets out a gargling noise. Hook Horror 1 is down. So now you have to do all of that again to number 2. So Turvy is going to be able to move into the room finally, and he doesn't want to be there. I'll have him just move to that location. He's also going to try to fire a hand crossbow, but he doesn't have advantage on Hook Horror number 2 anymore, and critically misses. Yeah, it actually, he fires a crossbow bolt so high that it goes up into that overhead section that the creature's been guarding this entire time. And
So he's aiming for the children.
Yeah,
Nice.
apparently.
Whoa!
We'll
Good.
find out if any of those kids have a crossbow bolt in or around them. Snake.
Ugh.
Snake, what you gonna do?
I'll just firebolt number 2.
Firebolt number 2. You hit.
Yay!
Grab the right damage. Marvelous.
Oh.
It's gonna be a long fight. Oopsie.
We have the worst glancing firebolts and eldritch blasts.
Yeah, this is very much not your day. However, for the moment, it is Yuck Yuck's day. So he's going to charge in, and he can make it all the way to here.
Oh, he's melee.
I actually have to take off A. Delete. So he charges into position. Actually, you know what? I'm going to move him here so that Melrath and Ront can get into better positions as well. So once he's there, he swings his scimitar with glee in his eyes, only to find it glance off the creature's shell and a horrified look to slowly dawn across his face as Hook Horror number 2 takes a swing at him and critically hits.
No.
Oh God!
Instant death!
God! Oh God! Okay, so the Hook Horror turns upon this tiny, horrified creature, and he deals 26 damage. I hope that everybody can see that's instant death.
Yep.
Instant death.
That's cleave.
Yuck
Becomes
is
dead.
cleaved
Yeah.
in two, and both pieces go flying across the cave, impacting behind and over Bupido.
And then he starts playing with them.
There's a spray of blood. Fargus, Bupido, and Bob are hit with goblin blood all over their face. As this
Bupido
creature,
wanted some intestines, so.
and he's got them. He has
Meat
them.
shield successful.
Bob, you can hear Bupido go, oh my, sausage casing. So Yuck is now dead. Let me add him to the NPC dead list. Oops. That map though. There we go.
Nice
Good. We're
knowing you.
shortening the turn order. This is positive.
5 to crit from Hook Horror. There we go.
Cleaved in half by Hook.
I do like how it says instant death.
At this point, Tazarath, you become his new target. Only I don't know how to explain it, but I think I've got it. So the Hook Horror at this point tries to bring his claw up over his head and swing it down as hard as he can, only for it to lodge in the roof of the cave briefly until he's able to pull it out. But that gives you enough time to come in and
I believe it is time to use my greatsword again.
Okay, go for it.
That worked. Hata.
Marvelous. That's some of the most damage that's been dealt so far. So your greatsword swings
on our side, you mean?
The creature's belly still manages to absorb a lot of the momentum that you put into it, but you can see that you've managed a gash and a weak point in the armor, which might be manipulated. Fixer Upper, it is your turn.
I moved a little closer, but I'm going to third time a charm this sacred flame.
You will not be deterred.
You probably should be.
That is. Let me see something here. I mean,
Okay then.
You have a good wisdom too. Yeah, that is unfortunate.
It's not even the player's wisdom that matters, though. It's the wisdom of the creature making a save against it.
I mean, it is and it isn't. So the real answer here is that when it comes down to the spell save DC, his wisdom adds into that. So if you had an 18, the spell save would be 14. However, in this particular case, the creature rolled a 14 anyway, so he would have beaten it even if it was 2 points higher. But you're also right in the respect that the creature's wisdom score, if it has a bonus at all, does apply to the wisdom save. So it's sort of a chicken and the egg sort of situation. I mean, but the creature is a tank, generally speaking, so I think we can safely assume that it doesn't have a high wisdom. So, Bob, you're up.
So, I have a crossbow, but it says ammo 0. Can I fire?
Yes.
Or no?
Yes, no, go for it. I'm not keeping track of ammo for this, so.
All right.
But I will, however, just put 50 in there.
Which one do I grab onto? It says
The
die plus 4.
Yeah, grab that and throw that.
Hit.
Okay.
Oh, and then I do the damage?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's pretty good as far as crossbow shots go.
Beesh.
Yeah, so you manage to fire it off, and it sinks into the creature's chitin a bit, and standard scream. Moving right along, we have Ront. Ront is going to move
The
up
hero.
behind it here, try to circle it, see if he can, as Chris said, become the hero of the party. He swings his great axe, and for the first time, he finds that. Okay, that's fine. He finds that back shell is especially tough, and his great axe bounces right off of it. So next up is Spiderbait. He's going to fire off his short bow because his brother was an idiot, and misses. It bounces off that shell once again. Fargus, please, for the love of for the love of all that's holy, deliver the party. He finally hits. Fuck. Okay, so then let me just add this here, and then I do the hand crossbow. Marvelous. Uh, since he is a spy, he gets a sneak attack roll, and that is where the extra damage comes in. Unfortunately, he rolled in some of the lowest percentile possible for that and does minimal damage. Sareth is up. Fairy Fire for him is a once a day innate spell, so he's cast it. There's no option for applying it again. That doesn't help either. That makes the situation worse. So I will simply try to apply the crossbow bolt. That does not work out for him either. So next up is Topsy. He is going to apply crossbow bolt. Hits. Once again, this creature is being turned into a pin cushion.
It's a valid
Damage.
tactic.
Yeah, I mean,
And it certainly beats having it happen to my wizard.
Malrath swings and misses once again. The creature's armor is really tough, and it cannot be stressed enough. Bupito at this point pulls himself away from the gore that was Yuck Yuck, and or was it Spiderbait? No, it was Yuck Yuck. And fires off his crossbow, hoping to get at the larger creature's belly, and he hits, does pretty decent damage, knocking him into bloodied status. And then he goes, marvelous. I bet its tongue would make an excellent scarf. And we go to the next character. Turvy eyes Bupito for a moment and fires off his crossbow bolt. It's deflected. Snake. Critical hit!
Yay!
Roll well this time.
So it does it automatically?
Yes.
Okay. Well, that's well for me.
This is technically above the median damage. No, it's not. It's actually slightly.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
Slightly below, but it's
Slightly
above our median.
Fire splashes against the creature. It does take some damage. It does howl. It persists, however. And so at this point, because of the danger that Ront represents, it turns and swings its first hook against him and does minimal damage. But even that minimal damage is enough. Well, actually, no, I thought it said he was bloodied. Never mind. And he's going to turn on Ront yet again. Another hit.
Ron needs to get.
Ah.
Oh, bye, Ron.
He's
Ron
unconscious.
Is unconscious, but not dead. So the sudden assault from the creature causes it causes Ron to buckle under its blows.
Don't worry, we'll wait.
You are up. I would also remind the party cleric that unconscious people cannot call for healing.
Okay. I mean, I have another heal spell in
That's
addition.
What are you going to do?
Should I heal or should I keep trying to stab?
Are you asking me?
I'm asking the rest of the party.
Well,
hopefully those are different targets, though.
You should probably heal him because I'm not feeling very charitable.
All right. I shall heal Ront. There.
Marvelous. So Ront is back up. So we go to the top of the round. It is the fixer-upper.
All right, I'm going to move into melee range finally, and I'm going to use my double attack ability with which I'm allowed to do 3 times a day as a war priest.
So are you using your guided strike, or is this a different effect?
It's a different ability. It's what is it called?
Shelter the Faithful? That can't be.
Savage Attacks, maybe? No, it's not that one. It's
Relentless Endurance. I mean, I believe you have it. I'm just curious. Critical on a melee weapon, you can roll the weapon's dice damage an additional time. That's really good. Is it War Domain? No. War Priest? I think I found it. When you use
Yeah.
your attack option, you can make one weapon attack as a bonus action. You can use this.
Wisdom modifier, so I get 5 per day. That's pretty cool.
Wait, your Wisdom modifier is 3.
Right.
So
I don't know. I'm looking at my wisdom save. Never mind.
Okay, so that's cool. So you're gonna make 2 attacks. So
Yes.
roll them both. Even if you score a hit, unless it's a critical, then we need to roll the critical. But
Okay.
that's a hit. Oh, and one other thing that I wanted to remind you of. You also have Guided Strike. You can use one of your channel divinities to gain a +10 bonus to a roll. So if you ever
Now,
really feel...
when do I have to announce that? Right before I roll, or?
You have to announce it before you roll. You're going to change the modifier area to 10.
Okay.
And that's how
Yeah.
that's going to work.
I'm gonna apply that to this one.
Okay, be aware that you only have 2 channel divinities for the day. The only other use for this is turning the undead, by the way. Okay, so add the 10 modifier and then roll your second hit. And you hit for both. So I want you to roll the damage, roll the standard damage and then roll it again.
Okay.
Instead of trying to fiddle with dice. Okay? Even so, that is almost twice as much damage as you would have done had you rolled 1. So it's something. So the assault continues upon the poor hook horror. Next up is Bob.
The hook horror.
Okay.
Sounds like an amputee harlot when you say it that way.
Crossbow bolt this time. Crossbow bolt sails across and continues to make a pinpoint out of this poor creature. Ront at this point, he actually can't go much of anywhere without drawing an attack of opportunity. And considering how accurate this is, he's going to try to hold his ground. And it seems to be a good thing that he did. That is a hit. Followed by...
Of course, he gets the kill. Unbelievable.
Oh, the kill steals are so good. So, hook horror number 2 goes down. Now, give me just a second to check the encounter for this so I can make sure there isn't any immediate reward.
I think Ront has the right to kick both of my characters out of the party if he wants.
So replace you both.
Hey guys, I gotta run to the restroom real quick. I'll be right back.
Okay. Okay, so the hook horrors are defeated. Let me see if
Finally.
delete this token. There we go. So at this point, there's nothing else in this particular area that...
Except for a tremendous amount of hook horror meat.
There's hook horror meat.
Yum.
Bupido has moved across the battlefield. He has started to take little pins that he produces from somewhere, and he started to arrange the body in some sort of ritualistic fashion. And he's muttering to himself, and like the whole world around him has just vanished in this particular moment. So everybody's kind of watching him with confusion and horror. And yeah, so at this point, what will you do next? Do you need to know
Honestly,
your options?
Honestly, I think the best thing to do in this situation is to just sort of hole up in this cave and rest for a bit.
Okay, so then I
But I don't know. That's my opinion. What are your guys' opinions?
I think we should see what's beyond.
you mean
Oh
up
yeah.
or back the way you came?
Yeah, as in up.
Okay. So at this point, because of the height, here's what I'm gonna say. First of all, is anybody going to heal anybody else?
I guess. I guess I can do that.
Okay, who and
Are these all the NPCs, or are there any left?
this should be all of them.
Oh wow.
The ones that remain, you mean?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I want to see how much cannon fodder's left.
Getting whittled down.
Bupito's over there still just playing with the intestines in the corner.
Yes, he is.
Playing jump rope.
He started to pull off the beaks of the creature to arrange those as well.
So I'm gonna heal Melrath with Cure Light Wounds.
Okay.
So can I just roll that on him? It should work.
Yes, that should work. Marvelous. Melrath goes almost up to full.
And then I'm gonna Healing Word. Well, actually, I can. Never mind. I can Cure Wounds again, right?
Yep.
Yeah, it's a spell slot. It doesn't matter which one. Okay.
Correct.
On I didn't mean to do that.
On Tazarath or Ront?
Yeah, I was trying to grab that and it slipped out of my hand.
Oh.
So yeah, I'll roll it on you, I guess. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
That helps quite a bit.
And then fine, I'll burn the third spell slot. And heal our star of the party here. Of course, we have to make him full, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Who was it that beat up Ront?
It was Fixer Upper.
Yes.
Okay. So you healed up your lackey, is what it comes down to. Nepotism.
Yeah.
Nepotism.
Yeah, he's my bodyguard.
Persists. Yeah. So, aren't you glad you brought him along?
Apparently, otherwise this fight would still be going on.
For significantly longer, yeah. Anyway, so now that everybody is healed up, if not to full adequately, Bupito is beginning to finish up with his intestinal display. There's like stuff on the walls. He's made some
It's
sort of-
beautiful.
He's turned this creature, the first creature, Hook Horror A, into a sofa. Using
God, I love
bone
Bupito.
internals, he has created a sofa out of this creature, and he wipes his head with his bloody hand and goes, "Whew, what a workout!" And he just kind of relaxes back into it for a moment.
Collapses
So-
on it.
That's my kind of guy.
I'm gonna need a breather here for a second before I can get to work on the second one. But don't you go anywhere. And he pats the other creature on the bony neck. So Ront, being one of the taller characters in the party, gives whoever wants to go up to the upper level the leg up, so that nobody has to roll like athletics or anything like that to climb.
Give me and Fargus a boost.
Okay, so Tezra here and Fargus here. Anybody else coming up?
Nope.
Okay.
Tell us what you find. Are there any kids with the crossbow bolts?
You find that this area. Well, first of all, you find that the crossbow bolt skittered into the back and seems to have narrowly missed what turns out to be a clutch of 4 eggs. They are 1-foot diameter eggs with rocky outer shells. They are all half buried in a small, shallow pit. The floor of this cavern is very sandy. For whatever reason, you can see a lot of signs of hook horrors moving in and out of here. You can also see that they have moved some meat that they had hunted from somewhere into one of the back corners, and through some particular process have managed to actually dry it out. So when these creatures hatch, they apparently have a food source ready for them. So that is the entire contents of the room. Now you note that the ceiling here is actually pretty low, and considering how tall these creatures were, they were likely crawling around. But they're very tall, but they're not very thick for the most part, despite their armor. So they kind of fit in here like a cockroach might, if you know what I mean. Yeah.
I guess.
Okay. So, anyways, there are the 4 eggs in there, and there kind of isn't anything else in here. Now, if you want to know anything about the eggs, someone's gonna have to roll a nature check. I can't roll it for the NPCs because if they don't have a skill at all, it doesn't show up on their sheet. So,
So what would this be? More or
what?
would I be rolling Arcana again?
Nature.
Or
Yeah, nature.
Nature it is. Hata.
Okay. You walk up to the eggs and you sort of touch one, and you find that it is trembling. That means that these creatures are actually fairly developed at this point. They are probably close to the point where they would hatch anyways. Um, you don't know a ton about hook horrors to begin with, especially because they're ambush predators, which also means that like this cave is like the best thing they could have possibly wished for. It's something that they can hide in. If someone came down here to investigate, they could reach a hook down and grab them and snap their neck before they even knew what was happening. Like this is truly an ideal hook horror habitat. But I, as a result, people don't really know their life cycle. So the best that you can guess is that, first of all, these creatures are likely to be fairly lethal based on the creatures that you already faced, even if they aren't fully developed. And sorry, I was reading stat block. Okay. They might need some protection because, almost all infants do. However, a lot of creatures that hatch from eggs tend to imprint on the first creature that they see. So there is a chance that that might also be true for hook horrors. However, you also know them to be intelligent creatures. They're not simple animals. So it might work differently. You're not sure. But that's the best you can come up with.
Um. Well, in addition to collecting the crossbow bolt and the meat, I'm going to ask the rest of the party. Hey, there's a few eggs up here. Do we want to try to raise these things, or should I just try and?
So we can't make an omelet out of them?
You could.
But they're already fertilized.
Yeah, they're already fertilized and mostly developed, so it'll be awkward eating.
Maybe Bupito can make
He can think something up. Yeah.
I
I
mean,
was
if
just
you want to give
wondering.
the eggs to Bupito, he will be happy to have them.
What a role model.
He's stroking his mustache at the moment, already contemplating what he could do with those eggs. Now,
After that fight we just had to endure against these creatures, I don't even want them on our side, frankly.
okay.
Yeah, it seems more trouble than it's worth.
So Yuck Yuck pipes up at this point, and his
No, he doesn't.
He's dead.
Oh, I'm sorry, Spider Bite chirps up at this moment, and he says, "Fellas, 2 things that we should probably be aware of. Number 1, right behind Snake, I can hear a bunch of that gibbering, and it sounds like they might actually be coming this way. And now we're the ones who are trapped in a cave, pretty much at a dead end. So there's that to consider. Number 2, in any civilized space, most notably Grackle Slug, because you mentioned that you might be headed that way at some point, hook horror eggs are actually extraordinarily valuable. These creatures can be tamed, and they would make very, very lucrative treasure if sold on the open market. Just a thought.
Okay then, glad you piped up.
Sounds all right to me.
So if you don't want them for yourselves, then I recommend that we sell them off. Now, there's one last thing.
Can we give them to spider bait?
That could happen. I just want to check something in the MM because it is easier than finding it in the weird system they have here.
The weird system.
G H. Here it is. What are they fucking talking about? Well, it must be in the book then. I'll find it in a little bit. But okay. It sounds like you guys are gonna sell them. That's fine with me. I just want to see one more thing. Maybe it'll be in the table of contents, and I can be done with this very quickly. Creature variation. Miscellaneous. I think it's probably gonna be 226. Anyways, so now that you know that these creatures are coming at you from behind, what exactly are you gonna do? Are you all just gonna, back yourselves up against a wall and attempt to make a dangerous front for the whatever it is to approach?
Could we hide in the upper part there?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's get some of our snipers just sort of prone into the entrance.
Okay. Just so you guys are aware, when it comes to being prone, one of the things to consider is that when you're prone, you actually have disadvantage on melee attacks, which I forgot to apply to Eric's thing because he rolled too quickly. But you cause disadvantage on people trying to make ranged attacks against you, and there's no penalty to your ranged attacks against other creatures. Okay. So I have no idea where this fucking table is that they're talking about is. So anyways, more importantly, um, so it sounds like you guys are going to hole up. You're going to set your snipers and possibly spellcasters up into that space. Now, do you see how the map gives this overlap between the two spaces?
Mm-hmm.
That's all the area that you have for people to be up there and be able to shoot into the cave.
Okay.
Now, furthermore, anybody that is on this particular lip can only fire as far as you see those lines in the hallway. The first line that sort of marks the entrance to this cave. That's as far as they can reach because of angles.
Okay.
So range yourselves. Leave the NPCs alone, and I'll take care of them, and they'll cooperate with whatever your plan is.
We're all holding up inside, right, and seeing what comes, or are the melee folks going to stay down?
Well, there's one other piece, which is that up here on the top area, for some reason it wasn't in the digital piece, but it is in this book because I was looking up something. Where is it? In the Hotar nest. Right. There is also a small rock which can partially cover the entrance to help conceal it, and it can be moved back and forth multiple times. So the party could entirely fit up here and partially seal the cave, and then just A, hope that they're not discovered, and B, hope that the eggs don't hatch.
Let's partly conceal the opening, but leave it so narrow that they have to
If you obscure it, there will be 7 feet of space to try to climb up into that area. So depending on the size of the creature, that might be possible. It might not. You don't know. I'm gonna start a timer if I don't hear some definitive plan.
So yeah, I'm. Wait, where is the rock? Is it in the back cave or the front cave?
Give me just a second. I'll draw on the map.
So my thought was just to have everybody hole up in the top portion and wait and see who comes in.
So I drew a
But it
little
sounds like you guys were thinking of just
standing and fighting.
having, yeah.
Which
Is
is
that
fine
right?
by me. I just want to know what's going on. Both of those seem like solid plans. The boulder I've drawn on the map, it's not to scale, it's just to represent its location. It's near the entrance so that it can be rolled back and forth appropriately. And it wedges in such a way that it like I said, conceals that there is a cave up here at all. So you have 2 perfectly valid options, and I just want you to pick one.
I'd like to see if we can avoid this encounter based on how bad the last one was.
Okay.
Fair enough.
So then I'm going to pull everybody up here unless someone objects.
I'm okay with this plan.
Let me just erase that. Whoa. Move that pin there. Erase. What the? Okay, I see how that works. erase that boulder as well. There we go. So everybody pulls up. And is anybody going to stay as a lookout to try to see what comes in, or you're all just going to stay back and hope you aren't spotted?
I think somebody should look out. Yeah.
The best player character with perception in the party is is
Fixer upper, right?
yes, with a natural passive perception of 23. So Fixer Upper crawls forward on his belly across the sandy floor and peers out just barely to try to see what comes through. And let me see if I can grab an image of it. I do, and then oh, but that has the name on it. Okay, well then I'll just describe it. So as you're waiting, two rather large creatures come into the room. They have really ratty armor on them, like chunks of other people's armor that have been taken off and strapped onto the shoulders or across their chest. They're hunched over. They have large furry ears. Their fur is all gray. They stand upright, and they have a large spear in one hand and some javelins across their back. The creatures have a stout nose. They look an awful lot like hyenas with a big bushy mane.
Bugbear?
You would have to roll.
I will roll.
All right. This would be nature.
Oh, too bad.
Oh.
Oh, never mind. Nature is good.
That's sufficient. This is what you see.
And what is?
Oh,
I'm
okay.
not seeing a bunch of stuff.
You're what?
I'm not seeing a bunch of stuff. I didn't see the roll. But whatever.
It was a 14. I don't know why you didn't see it, but there it is. So this creature is a gnoll. Let me grab the stat block for fucking. Huh. Oh, because I wasn't looking in the MM. I know where it is. Go to here.
You probably want me to roll, Alex, because I didn't roll.
You rolled a 14. I see it.
That's not my roll. I don't know whose that is.
That's
Oh.
mine from before when I
Yeah.
rolled for the eggs.
Okay, I apologize. Go ahead and roll.
Nature?
Yeah.
Oh, you sure?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm already pissed
No.
off. Ugh, and I revealed stuff I didn't have to. Okay, no problem. These things happen. Yeah, you have
I
no
can
idea
still.
what
I
that
still
is.
think it's a bugbear. Okay.
Yeah, bugbear. That's exactly what it is. Looks like there's some bugbears down there. They gibber to each other. However, they use broken common to do it, and so in their gibbering, you actually overhear some of their commentary. And if you give me just a second, I gotta go to the appropriate encounter. So the gnolls that come, the bugbears that come down this particular passage, um, they start dialogue with one another. If we can't find those nasty bug creatures, there'll be no sacrifices for Yinogu. And then the other creature yelps and he says, well, if we don't find them, we'll be the sacrifices for Yinogu. We better get moving then. There's nothing here. They must have burrowed away or something. And then one of them snaps at the other and exits the room. The last one takes a second look around the room and doesn't seem to see anything and also departs. You may
Yay.
make a religion roll on the name Yinogu to see if it is something that you can gain some information
Religion?
about. Yep.
Okay.
Anybody that has religion can, because you can pass that information on to the party. It's pretty obscure. If it is a religious deity, you have no idea. It's probably a person.
Oh, I do have one more roll. Sorry. Oh,
Oh, I see how it is.
I didn't realize that he was also proficient. Sorry.
Oh, yeah, no problem. Yinogu is the ravenous god of gnolls. A lot of scholars think that Yinogu might actually be a demon entity
Cool.
that is just some kind of mid to low level demon that they happen to revere. It is known as the god of Ravenous Hunger. When it is present, and it has been to Faerun before, it causes all creatures around it to go absolutely mad with hunger, and they will consume any living sentient creature, along with non-sentients like cattle or deer or whatever else they can get their hands on.
Wow.
But they will never consume vegetation. They only hunger for flesh. So these particular gnolls mentioning Yinogu is both weird and kind of usual. I mean, the gnolls only have one god, but they aren't always in a state of ravenous hunger trying to satisfy that particular god.
Hmm.
These sacrifices that they mention are basically the gnolls descending upon a living creature and eating it alive.
Okay then.
So, now that everybody is holed up in here, what is your next plan of action? Do you need some direction on options, or?
I still think we should bring the eggs with us, but
We
what
should settle that
I'm fine.
before we move on.
Yeah,
So here's what
let's
I'm going
bring.
to do. I'm going to do a quick vote tally so that we can settle this quickly and easily. If you make a check mark, you are in favor of bringing the eggs along. If you make a X mark, you are not. Okay. It looks like democracy has made a decision, and the eggs will be brought along. You can choose an NPC to stow them on. That's fine with me. Although they are not present on the battlefield, Stool, well, Stool actually can't carry anything. Sorry. What's his name? The Kuatoa guy. Sar
Oh,
something,
oh
I
yeah.
can't remember. But he's also present. He's a pacifist. He won't participate in combat. That's why he's not on the field. And Stool does not have any options for combat either, so he's not on the field. But they are present. So, anyways, we'll put them in Spiderbait's backpack. Actually, they're pretty large. They're 1 foot diameter eggs, and he's a little goblin. So we'll distribute them, one in there, and I don't know. Sareth can carry one, and Topsy and Turby each carry one.
Don't give him to Bupito, because then he'll eat them.
Bupito actually, during this entire encounter, has been lovingly rubbing the eggs while his eyes are glazed over, and there's a little bit of drool in one corner of his mouth.
Of course there is.
So
Can we take the couch with us?
that is going to be very difficult. Although, I mean, there's a lot of craftsmanship and love that went into that. It's just really a matter of when it starts to rot. I think its value will decline. So
You always ruin my fun, Alex.
I mean, we could harvest the meat from the second one.
Oh, you can still harvest the meat from the first one. He mostly used organs to do that.
Oh God.
I'm glad you're laughing, Chris.
So at this point, here are the options as I see them. You guys can hang out here. Since the gnolls did not find you, you can attempt to do a long rest up here, which would give you back any spell slots you've spent and hit points. And at that point, when you
Oh, that might be a good idea, actually.
Yeah, when you guys return to the northern portion of northern end of this passageway, you have two choices. You can either press on further into the X Hook Horror's lair, or you can try doubling back, because this passage, like, do you remember the cliff top that I was describing for the spider webway?
Yeah.
Okay. If you were facing it, there was a passageway off to the east and a passageway off to the west. You chose the east because you followed Fargus's request to pick up Tazarath. You could at this point say, Gnolls aren't worth the trouble. We got our man. Let's get the fuck out of here. But there's also experience and treasure potentially to be gained in the combat, so your choice.
Are we still going towards that city that you said we were going towards?
Yes.
Before we got to Sloopity Doop Dop?
This passageway actually may end up being a shortcut. You might be able to shave a day or two off of that trip. You'll add a day or two if you go the other direction, but you'll still be able to get there in all likelihood. If you
Hmm.
absolutely have to turn around, I'll let you know.
I personally, I don't like the idea of double backing right now because we don't know how far away the Drow priestess is. So
That's a
Well,
good
I
point.
would remind you that at the end of the previous encounter, you guys made sure to use Firebolt to sever any connections directly to your platform. So
true.
their pursuit counter has gone down as a result of that action. It is, however, possible that it could go back up just by getting some additional time to try to close the distance. So I can tell you that you believe, based on a number of smart decisions you guys have made in terms of cutting off pursuit, that you have some space to work with.
Hmm.
However, you do bring up a very valid point, so party should consider that.
Honestly, I think we should move on while we have a chance to use spell slots or no. But
So you're proposing not long resting.
um,
How long is a long rest in terms of time?
8 hours.
Oh, I think we should use it as opposed to doubling back, which would cost us a day.
mm,
No, Chris. All right.
all right.
Wait,
I
I'm
mean,
sorry.
since I'm a spellcaster, I kind of want to do that too. But I'll
I'm actually a little uncertain as to which way this went because Brett said all right and then Chris said all right, and I'm not sure if the all right was
Oh,
said or the all right was
if he
done.
wants to press on.
The all right is let's rest.
Okay.
Okay.
Since
So
All
then
right.
I'm gonna
we all
quickly
need
do
our
that. Oh, I can't do it that way. I have to do it this way. Okay. So first up, so the party takes the opportunity to rest. I have your watch order, so I'm gonna roll some perception checks for you. Um, so that's going on. So you guys end up. You can look at the party sheet if you personally don't remember how it is that the watch order is set up. But the first person goes up for watch. During the course of that time, actually, you end up seeing more gnolls come along this particular passageway during the first watch. So I'm going to roll a perception check for them real quick. Oh, I see the problem. um, the gnolls sniff around much closer to the bodies. Initially, when they came into this area, they largely ignored the dead hook horrors.
the
But
couch.
yeah, the couch has started to smell, and now one of the gnolls has started sniffing around there, and he's directly under the open passageway beneath you guys. He doesn't seem to have looked up and noticed it yet, but he is investigating. So I believe the person for watch, it it reset.
it did reset.
It did reset. That's a pain in the ass. Well, clearly the answer is Fixer Upper would be first on watch because he has the best perception. Do you want to alert the party? Do you want to pull back from the overlook and hope he doesn't see you? What's your plan?
Um, I will just pull back and hope this doesn't happen.
Okay. Um, okay. So you pull back and you continue to hear his snuffling noises. You have a hand hovering over Melrath's face so that if this does go wrong and suddenly a paw or a head comes up through that hole, you can at least slap Melrath and get him awake, and then alert the rest of the party. But in this place, you guys are really confined, and it would be a bad spot. So you listen with bated breath as the snuffling continues. You can hear him kind of picking at the carcass. And the creature makes a disgusted noise, and then you hear some pretty heavy padding across the floor, and then there's silence. Are you going to poke your head out and see what happened? You could just wait till the end of your rest, or your or watch, I should say.
Yeah, I'm gonna wait.
Okay. So you wait an additional 4 hours, or sorry, 3 hours, and you wait that entire time. You hear no further sounds in there. Who would have been next? Let me see. Oh, I'm on the wrong tab. That's why. I don't know. Bob and Melrath, I guess, go for the next watch. When you guys come up, um, the fixer-upper reports how a watch went, and you guys are aware that there was some noise down there, and you kind of keep back from the entrance. According to the rules I made, the rest of your time in this area is uneventful. There aren't any additional noises down below. You do occasionally hear some distant, hyena laughing noises, but aside from that, it's pretty quiet. So you make it through the entire long rest period, and you are able to go up the corridor. So um, at this point, are you going to go to the north or down to the southwest?
Um,
Take a character, place it near the spot you want to explore.
So wait, which way are we going? All the way
Uh,
back?
all the way back to that sort of fork in the passageway.
Oh, okay. North.
works for me.
Oh, I found the table I was looking for.
I think we've all, except for Melrath, voted for. We've
Okay.
all voted.
Oh, guys, there's one last thing that I wanted to toss in here. Just because you had some time to rest, Spiderbait goes on to talk about hook horrors as guards and pets for other creatures. Um, he seems to have a decent amount of information about them and says that they tend to stay in their infant stage for about a month. And then they mature into young creatures, which last for about 1 to 3 months. They become juveniles after 3 to 6 months and become full adults after 6+ months. He said that owning hook horrors is, in real world terms, a little bit like owning a tiger. There's a degree of taming that can happen, but there's also a degree of danger ever present that as a wild animal it might suddenly turn on you and kind of chop at you. So these creatures are always implanted up
Baby.
far away from their owners with other guards, so that if it suddenly decides to become make itself a threat, they can put it down quickly. So anyways, so now that you guys have chosen that northern passageway, who are you going to send through, or are you all going to pile through into the next area?
Um,
Hmm.
Any volunteers? You can also all try rolling a stealth roll and see if anyone wants to.
let's do that. The wonders of not having a dedicated rogue.
Didn't Fixer Upper go first last time?
I did, but I'm not a rogue.
He got lucky
We
with
could
his roll.
we could send Fargus. He's the closest thing to a rogue that we have.
Sure, that's possible.
We could toss the eggs down there.
See if anything horrible happens to them.
Right.
Okay, so I think I might be able to get Fargus to roll stealth. I'm not certain. Okay, I think I know what to do. Okay, and then he gets a 23.
Okay then.
So Fargus volunteers to go up ahead. I'm gonna pull up the-
Volunteers.
He doesn't know the way that this party generally goes, so yeah, volunteering is still an option right now. As he moves into that area, um, he vanishes into that side passageway, and oh yeah, let me grab his little. He vanishes up into here.
We don't have
He's
to
gone.
rescue him again.
He's gone for about 15 seconds, and then all of a sudden you all almost jump out of your skin because you hear one of those horrific hyena laughs, and it's right on the other side of this wall, and you're waiting with bated breath to hear if Fargus has in fact been torn limb from limb. And the laugh continues, and then it kind of dies away, and then Fargus comes out through the passageway again, and his eyes are the size of saucers. He reports back to the party that on the other side there's a much larger cave opening, kind of about the same size as this, but it there's one part that curves around to the north, and another part that also continues to the west and back down to the south. And when he came through that area, he came in right behind one of the hyena-like creatures as it decided to, yelp out. And in spending time in that area, he thinks that they're on patrol, still trying to find living prey in this area. And they headed off to the north after having signaled that that area was clear. So that's the information that we managed to get for you.
Okay, so they've moved on. We can move in and pursue them and thin out their numbers, I guess.
Okay. There were Fargus came up directly behind one of these creatures. There are, however, a total of 4. So, based on that number, do you wish to engage them?
Didn't you say they ran off?
They went off to the north, but Krista's suggesting that you guys all go up that passageway behind them and use the opportunity to thin out their numbers, since you would have the advantage of surprise, presumably. Am I putting words in your mouth?
No, that's about right.
Well, if we don't want to double back, we're probably going to have to deal with the no problem. Excuse me, bugbear problem, no matter what. So.
Okay, then I'm gonna start revealing some map stuff. So let me go to, whoop, not sharing. I need to go
Yeah, reveal it.
take it off.
Take it off.
Okay. Let me see here.
Alright.
This.
Can I still kill cow?
And then I'll just clear that little bit out there. Okay, so now you can see the space that Fargus was talking about. And like I said, they went up around that northern sort of curve there. So are you guys going to try to quickly sneak up behind them, or are you just going to follow them and wait for a good opportunity? What's your plan? Are you going to rush them?
I say we kind of follow him and wait for a good opportunity.
Okay. Anybody
Anyone else?
Let's make sure they're not rejoining alarm and catch them when they're separated.
Okay. So as you guys move up into this area, I have a feeling that they're not going to place right when I do this, but give me just a second to grab the encounter, okay? Grab that and then go here. I think it's these ones. Yeah, this is what I'm looking for. So if I do that, yeah, this map does not have them populating anywhere, probably because there's a number of places they could populate. And let me try something else. Am I supposed to grab this? Yes, that's it. Let me delete out 5. And then... Okay, perfect. I'm just going to rearrange these guys real quick to reflect my narration. And there. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to reveal first. And I want every person in the party to roll a stealth check. So I'm going to do it for you because it's faster. And I'll let you know what you got. Okay. Melrath got a 16. Tazareth got a 6. Bob got a 6. Snake got a 10. And the Fixer got a 9. So when it comes to sneaking up behind the... Why is this here? There. That is such a pain in the ass. Hold on a second. I think I go like that. Oh, 2, 4, 3. It's 1 that's missing. Okay. There we go. Sorry, I accidentally created an extra character. It was weird. It's fixed now. What I want you guys to do is... now I'm grabbing the combat tracker. Here we go. You can be no closer to them than this line vertically. Okay? So arrange yourselves at or behind where I just dropped Fargus as an example, and we will start combat from there. And you should also roll
So,
initiative. To
do
see
they already know we're here though?
Yes, that's
They,
what
Oh,
I'm
they
okay.
going to get
heard.
to. So the stealth rolls that you
They
guys
heard.
had were bad, and they heard you guys coming up behind them, so they turn on you.
Ah,
Don't worry about the NPCs. I'll grab them. But just arrange yourselves and roll initiative, and I'll get everybody up here.
now that I know which initiative is.
But do you really know, or
Shh. Maybe we can kill another NPC with this.
That's the goal.
That is the goal.
Murder them all. Lots of 17.
yeah, you guys did pretty well as far as those rolls go. Whoa. Okay, so now that we've got that all taken care of, the fixer-upper remains first, and he'll be followed by Snake. So there's one last thing. I have to just remove some effects, but you can keep
Yeah,
them.
the effects of my bless spell are gone.
Yeah, but your spell slot for it is back. So if you care to recast it, you can. Anyways, I think it's kind of hilarious that you guys left Fargus out front and then made enough noise so that the gnolls are going to turn around and like see him.
I will heroically stand in the way.
Okay.
And then I'm going to, I'm going to melee Null 3 and double attack. I'm using that.
Okay.
And heck, I'll use the guided strike as well, because I have 2 of those again.
Okay.
So it's Null 3. Okay.
Okay, the first attack is a miss.
Oh, I forgot to apply that. Oh.
You can apply it
Is
on
it-
the second.
Oh. Well, I'm not going to apply it on the second now. Fuck that.
Oh, okay. Are you still okay? All right, so you hit on the second attack.
All right. Okay.
Okay. So you manage what is that short sword? You swing your short sword and manage to take a hunk out of the gnoll's hide. It yelps to the sky, and Snake, you're up.
I will use magic missile, I guess. I guess they're worth it. I don't know. Maybe they're not even good enough to use magic missile.
Nobody's identified them successfully, so you have no sense.
What do I have to roll for that?
Nature. Oh, I see. I thought he was pouring one.
Does that work?
Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't see it. Yes, that is sufficient. So, blah, 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 blah. Based on what you know, gnolls are relatively common creatures on the surface world. They're a bit more dangerous than goblins, slightly less dangerous than your standard orc horde. So
Oh, okay.
yeah, they're probably not going to be one of the. They're not going to be as dangerous as the hook horrors that you faced.
Oh, okay. So I'm just
they also
gonna.
have numbers, so do keep that in mind.
Mm-hmm. I will use the poison spray. I've been wanting to use that.
Okay.
So that has a range of 10 feet.
Yes.
So if I move here, can I shoot number 3?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Where does the poison spray come from?
My innate ability as a Yanti.
No, I mean physically.
Oh,
From his
good
mouth.
question.
Spit, probably.
Yeah.
Your hand, actually. Hand within range and project a puff of noxious gas from your palm.
Oh yeah, that's for actual people. Like Yanti are not people. They spit it from their mouths.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll spray at number 3.
Gross.
I know.
Wow.
Oh, of course.
He succeeds.
Mhm.
So the poison is not effective. That is unfortunate. Bob, do better.
Can he do better? Yes, he can.
Well, that remains to be seen.
He's got a good American name, Bob.
Wait, which one was attacked already? 3?
3, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Pew.
Oh,
Haha.
Bloodied.
So, having fired off your Eldritch Blast, you managed to actually land it pretty
My-
solidly this time.
My Eldritch crossbow.
I am so sorry. You're absolutely right. Your crossbow. You fire off your mundane weapon and catch the creature in the shoulder. It starts bleeding pretty heavily from that wound, and you can tell it is bloodied. Tazarath.
I grabbed the wrong character. I'm going to go diagonal, and then diagonal and hit number 4 with my greatsword.
You don't need to do that because attack of opportunity only occurs when you move away.
Well, I'm doing it that way anyway.
Understood. Attack number 4.
You got it. Hata.
I like how you got a great sword because you died, whereas we all had to get weapons from the beginning of the game, so I'm stuck with a short sword.
Well, maybe
Just
you'll
throwing
be
that
able to
out there.
steal those Knoll spears and up your game.
Yeah, that would be better, I would think. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
at this point,
I rolled
Tazarath
snake
manages
eyes
to land
there.
a light blow with his greatsword, and the creature isn't especially injured by this. So next up is going to be Ront, who turns to shout at the fixer. All right, boss. Oh, you want me to fuck up?
Watch your language, son.
This is a Christian game.
Yeah, you're listening.
But number 3 will work. Thanks, Ron.
You got it.
Oh my god. This
I
game
like
just got
Ron's
so
voice.
much better.
Yeah. We have to keep him alive now.
I modeled him off of Warhammer 40k orcs, who all have.
Oh,
crazy
Ron.
accents. I did my best.
Ron is now a giant dwarf.
Spider Bait rushes up and slides past Bob and pulls out his crossbow, short bow, and fires at number 3.
Nice.
He jumps in the air in glee as he manages to land a really solid hit on that creature. Are you fucking...
Yeah, the damage didn't go any.
It didn't show this.
There, I got it now. It didn't kill the creature, but yeah. So now the Gnolls have an opportunity to do some damage back.
Do they?
Okay. Yes, they do. Why would I ever want to do that? So first up is number 1. He is going to run to here, and he is going to thrust his spear at Ront.
Don't you dare hurt Rod.
He's
No.
succeeded. Actually, this one.
How does Ron sound when he gets hit?
Oi! Right root of you.
He's a Cockney orc.
Cockney orcs are the best. Anyways, the spear impacts Ront, but he thrusts aside, and it ends up becoming a glancing blow. Null number 2 moves up to here. Actually, 5, 10, 15, 20. Moves to here and is going to thrust his spear at Snake. And manages a hit. For 9 points of damage. Snake takes a very heavy blow in his side, and the spear makes a nasty gash. Next up is Knoll number 3. He's pretty solidly locked in here. He can't move anywhere without taking attacks of opportunity. So he's going to try to hit Tazarath.
Ow.
Yeah, potential ow. Tazarath. Okay. It is a blow, but it's not as bad as it could have been. You could still be Snake. So next up is Knoll number 4. He does not have the kind of leeway that I was hoping for. So he's also going to attack Tazarath.
Yep.
Also hit.
Ow.
And 8 damage. Tazarath is very close to going down. But you do still have your lay on hands now, thanks to the rest. Fargus.
So if you touch yourself, you'll be healthy.
Yes. Yes, indeed.
Isn't that what always happens?
Very healthy.
Critical hit.
He
Wow.
hits on
Fargus, what a beast.
the knoll that otherwise was pretty injured. He also had sneak attack damage in there, or should have. But
So he
it doesn't matter.
overkilled the heck out of him.
Overkilled the heck out of him. So Sareth is
Right
up.
through the neck.
He's going to try to hit. Who is this? Knoll number 2 with his hand.
Does he have to move first?
Oh, yes, he does. I had the wrong. Okay. So he moves into position, fires, it misses. Topsy is going to move up to here because he has to be in melee range. He pulls out a war pick and swings it at the knoll, but it jumps out of the way. They have good reflexes. Next up is Melrath. Okay, he moves into position over Knoll 2.
Kill him.
Knoll
Kill
2 is
him.
completely surrounded.
Wait, who killed Knoll 3?
Fargus did.
Oh,
Melrath,
missed that.
unfortunately, is unable to make it through the Knoll's armor. He hits the shoulder plate, and his sword ricochets off. Bupido, where is he? Bupido moves to...
Shitty shoulder plates it might be, but we should probably get Runt some
better armor.
armor at all.
Sure, right when you hand over that great sword to me.
He has hide armor presently.
He does.
Anyways, Bupido moves into position, assesses the battlefield, decides to pick on Knoll number 4, and fires off his crossbow. Rats!
And
I was
misses.
hoping to make dog biscuits out of him. And then Turvy is going to move straight up here. I can't remember whether Turvy is the female or not. Anyways, Turvy moves up into position and fires hand crossbow at number 2. And hits.
Impressive.
And boop. Excellent. Manages to get a little bit of damage in there. So now 2 of the Knolls are somewhat damaged by the end of round 1. So at the start of round 2, Fixer Upper, you're up.
I will try to remove number 2 with another double attack.
Okay. Don't forget to add your modifier if you're doing that this time.
Yeah, that might be a good idea, but I'm not going to. I'm going to save it.
Okay.
Okay. Use my incredibly underwhelming short sword. Oh, number 2. Okay, there you are. Nice.
Oof. Very
So,
nice.
should I roll the critical now, Alex?
Yes, absolutely. Because if we roll anything else, it'll override it.
Okay. Do I have to change anything?
Nope, just roll as is.
Okay. Ugh.
Well, I know it's not a ton of damage that you were hoping for, but it is still enough to push the creature into bloodied state. So, something's been accomplished. Snake.
Hooray.
No, wait.
Oh, I was
second.
using double attack.
Oh, I'm so sorry. That's right. There you go.
Okay. All right.
There.
No,
Get that out of the way.
there's
Sorry.
6.
Now Snake is up.
And Snake is in melee, right?
Correct.
Or
Wait, Snake is...
no.
He is
No, never
technically
mind.
in melee. Yeah, with
Oh,
Bolt
he
2.
is. Okay.
If you have anything that is saving throw based, that is a good use in melee range.
Oh, so I don't get disadvantage for saving throw?
Yeah, you can never get disadvantage on saving throw in that way.
Neat. So I'll poison spray.
Okay.
We still want to know where that poison's coming from.
I don't think we do.
It's
Okay. Well, he rolled just above your saving throw, so it's not like he rolled a 20. Bob, you're up.
Damn
Unfortunately.
it!
So your crossbow unfortunately misses the knoll, and Tazarath, you are up.
So as to keep myself from dying, I'm going to lay on hands myself for all 10.
All 10. Okay. You go to 12. So that's your turn, unless you're gonna move.
And provoke attacks of opportunity? No, thank you.
I can always take
That
a
would
chance.
healing myself.
Alex is trying suggestion on you.
Unfortunately, you saved. Ront goes, right at him. Swings his axe. He manages to hit this time. Core!
Screaming lowers their defenses, apparently.
How come he hasn't been screaming this whole time?
I only just gave him a personality, as I should be doing for all of them, so I'm going to be slowly introducing those, because we got Bupito, and then I started to like it, and, Yuck Yuck, Spider Bait. This is coming together.
You'll give them personalities and then they'll die.
Yeah, exactly. I wanted to see who was going to... Because, you could always be Yuck Yuck and just get bisected.
You mean dead?
Yeah.
Or ring.
Dead.
Oh,
Get eaten by...
Forgot about him.
Spider Bait lines up his shot and fires at null number 2. Manages to actually land it this time.
And gets the kill.
And gets the kill. It goes right through his eye and out the back of his skull. Null number 2 collapses, which is just in time for null number 1. Null number 1. Let me roll something. Null number 1 looks terrified and tries to back up, which gives Fixer Upper and Ront the opportunity to try to stop him.
Stab him.
Ront unfortunately misses with his great axe.
Which one is it? Sorry, I wasn't paying attention.
No one.
No one? Okay.
Did I move the wrong? No, I didn't. Excellent, you hit. Ooh.
Oh.
Yeah, so as you stab at him as he turns to run and manage to bring him into a bloodied value. So, oh, by the way, I mentioned this for Kyle and maybe for you guys as well if you've forgotten. You can use the mouse wheel to scroll in on the battlefield, and if you do, there are little tiny green dots or yellow dots or so on and so forth. Tell you the status of everybody on the battlefield, including monsters, and it changes in real time as they get damaged. So I just wanted to point that out in case you might not have been able to see it full zoom out. Anyways, null number 1, since he doesn't die in the process, manages to move to here, and he starts to make his way out to here, attempting to escape you guys. And yeah, null number 4 decides that he's going to remain right where he is to try to prevent you guys from going after him, and thrusts his spear at Tazarath. Unfortunately, he misses. He's not super thrilled about having been left behind, and it appears to be sapping his concentration. Fargus Rumblefoot. Um, oh
Shoot
no,
the guy
you
that's
don't.
running away. Don't let him bring reinforcements.
Yeah, we need a voice for Fargus.
How does Elijah Wood sound? I don't know.
Oh, it's me.
It's me, Elijah Wood.
One room to rule them all.
Sam, don't leave me.
Where's Gandalf? Oh, fiddlesticks! I missed. Okay, we've got a voice for Fargus.
It should be Fargus Lightfoot. Oh my god.
Sareth shoves Fargus aside to get a shot. I'll show you how it's done, you little shit. And he fires it. Actually manages to land the shot. Deals some damage, not enough to take the creature down. It's now limping heavily, though. And it fails its save against the poison and goes unconscious. It collapses to the ground.
Maybe we shouldn't be killing off these NPCs.
Sareth grins with self-satisfaction, and Fargus snarls at him. Next up is Topsy. Topsy gibbers something to Turvy about Bupido turning this one into a sectional, and Topsy tries to get around to get another better shot. Fires off the hand crossbow and manages to hit. Does a bunch of damage. Again, not enough to kill. Next on the list, Melrath. Do your worst.
He was
Wow.
right.
You've been saving that up. I'm
not
sorry.
ready enough.
That is a glancing blow, but it is still enough to push the creature into its bloodied values. So next up is Bupido. Bupido lines up his crossbow, fires, and says, "Rats! It looks like we're gonna need more of them for that sectional." Turvy giggles with hilarity at the concept.
He can jiggle too.
Yes, he does. Fires his crossbow and unfortunately misses, bringing us to the top of the round where jiggling fixer-upper is ready to go.
All right, so I have
Every time he says it's your turn, I think of that song. The Fixer Upper song. Frozen. Anyone?
From Frozen.
Yeah. He's a bit of a Fixer Upper.
Oh, that song!
Sorry, I'll shut up now.
From Frozen. I've never actually seen Frozen yet.
Oh my god.
Chris, you can't say that to a group of gay men. It's just
I haven't seen it either. You've got a comrade here. So I'll just attack number 4 again.
okay.
And miss.
Okay.
Okay.
Snake, show him how it's done.
How long is number 1 out?
He will be out for at least a round, which is 10 turns.
Oh, okay. He's not going to wake up and get away.
No, it's unlikely. Actually, there's no saving roll or anything. He's just unconscious. So really, what it comes down to is, can all of you defeat this gnoll in 10 turns?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's kind of up in the air.
I'm gonna try and spray it.
You just have no luck with any save-based attack.
No, I don't. It's...
He fails! Finally, you get to roll your d12.
Finally.
Splat.
Nice. All right.
Nice.
Sprayed to death.
You You've done it. You've done it. So now Snake slithers forth, opens his mouth, and spits a massive blob of acid directly at the creature's face, kind of like in Jurassic Park.
Yeah, I was just gonna say it's Newman in Jurassic Park. And
falls with his can of whipped cream, and it goes like the
You
Duncy
didn't
egg.
say
And you know what
the
the best
magic
part
word.
is? Huh?
No. Do you remember when he was putting that error message on the computer and
Yeah.
locking Samuel L. Jackson out of it?
Here's
Didn't say the magic word.
I don't know if you guys have watched it like any time recently. I have, because I own them all on DVD, and I had a point where I was like working from home and I was watching it while I was working. And I don't know if you remember this, but they actually include a slide whistle when Wayne Knight slips and goes down the waterfall. And I didn't remember that as a kid, and I was like, that is so fucking goofy. What the hell? It's completely out of the tone with the entire movie. Anyways, at this point, now that the Knolls have gone down, Ront taps the fixer up on the shoulder gently. Oi, boss! Want me to stomp his head in?
Sure.
Okay. Crunch. And boop. There we go.
He's a little excitable.
Well, I mean, fixer upper is his boss. So let me set this to
Fish and chips for all of us.
So here's what I'm going to do. We're not going to play too much longer. We went over time. Sorry about that. But I'm going to reveal a little more of the passageway so that we have a sense of where we're going next time.
Trying to figure out what voice I want for Tazarath.
I know, right? You're up against my formidable voice talent. With my
I might make him
inabilities.
sound like Frieza. Just
That would be amusing. Okay, so the cave continues out, comes to another crossroads. There's even, and I'm trying to reveal this as well, a little passageway up that way, and there's a little passageway down this way. So there's a number of different ways that you can go. It's kind of a maze
okay.
in here, but you can still hear more gibbering beyond. It sounds like there might be another pack out in the distance, but that's the trouble for next time, and especially because it sounds like there might be even more off to the west of here. So, thank you guys so much for playing.